back to my channel again. I'm Ovi. I'm a student in Pamulang University. In this occasion, I'm going to make a reaction video, especially in analyzing a poem. And this project to fulfill my midterm task from my past lecturer, Miss Ruiz. Hi, Miss Ruiz. Well, if you want to know further about this video, don't go anywhere and stay tuned. Alright, honestly this is my first time to make a reaction video, especially in a poem based on its meaning, message, history, intrinsic elements, for example like imagery, figurative language, and theme, and also my own opinion about the poem itself. Well, at this moment, I'm interested in one of a poem from a British romantic poet because it describes the beauty of nature after the winter season. Well, do you know? Can you guess it? Who is the poet? Yup, ta-da! William Wordsworth. Well, William Wordsworth is one of the greatest English poets. He was born in England on April 1770 and he was died in 1850. Well, also he is the high priest of nature poet. It doesn't mean that he wrote only on subject concerned with nature, but he is as much a poet of nature as of humans. Well, because William Wordsworth traveled extensively and was deeply influenced by his love of nature, both passions are evident in many of his poems. Nah, salah satunya adalah puisinya yang berjudul Written in March. And this is one of my favorite poem that I wanna make a reaction video right now. Oke, langsung aja yuk kita lihat puisinya seperti apa. Now, let's play the video. Check it out.
Written in March by William Wordsworth. The cock is crowing. The stream is flowing. The small birds twitter. The lake doth glitter. The great fields sleep in the sun. The oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. The cattle are grazing, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one, like an army defeated. The snow has retreated, and now doth fare ill on the top of the hill. The plowboy is whooping, anon, anon. There's joy in the mountains. There's life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone.
Yup, Written in March, a poem by William Wordsworth. Now let's see. Well, at the first of the poem describes the bright morning of the village, and the poet also uses all of visual imagery to glorify the beauty of that morning, such as cock, birds, and glittering of the lake. When we see in the first stanza, the cock is crowing, and the small birds twitter, and the lake doth glitter. Well, ketika pagi hari kan ayam berkokok, terus burung-burung berkicauan, and the lake doth glitter. Kalau misalkan kita pernah lihat air di danau, itu biasanya kalau pagi hari itu dari kejauhan kayak ada kerlipan-kerlipan, kilauan-kilauan gitu ya. Nah itu tuh biasanya ada refleksi pantulan dari sinar matahari. The lake glitter by reflection of the sunlight. Well, in the first stanza, the cock is crowing, the small birds twitter, and the lake doth glitter. It seems like the beauty of the morning, the sense of the beauty of the morning. In this poem, the poet addresses to the object around him. For example, the cock is crowing, the stream is flowing, the small birds twitter, The poem begins with the crowing of the cock, indicating the beginning of the day and symbolizing the start of something new. The stream is flowing. The stream of water flowing amidst the lane indicates the routine and continuity of the world, where people are going to work while the cattle graze and the birds chirp. The poet said that the stream is flowing because this poem is written in the month of March, which is beginning of the spring season. The water on the stream, which was frozen in the winter month, and started flowing with arrival of spring. Go on to the next line. The green fields sleep in the sun. The oldest and the youngest are at work with the strongest. After the long winters, the people of the village are working in their fields. The old and young together are at work with the other strong people of the village. The people in the poem are working hard with full concentration regardless of their age. People are very eager to the hard work in their fields. The cattle graze in the meadows. It seems like all this happiness is the result of the withdrawal of the winter season. Because the winter season is the worst time of the year. Winter represents a time of sorrow and depression. It means that as the winter season ends, the spring season begins. The new life represents a time of joy and happiness. Next, their heads never raising. There are 40 feeding like one. Why do the cattle not raise their heads while they are grazing? Because with the coming of spring, the meadows are full of fresh green grass and there is plenty of food available. Because the winter season telah berakhir and spring season begins bringing new life, like cattle, for example, cows, goats are grazing the grass, so they are not raising their heads again. And then there are 40 feeding like one, means all 40 cattle are eating equally, steadily, and with pleasure. The whole herd of the cattle are busy grazing, their heads down, and when watched from above, they look as one. Next, like an army defeated, the snow has retreated and now doth fare ill on the top of the hill. The poem was written amidst the war, where people were subjected to drastic changes and difficult living. As the war gradually ended, the good days arrived, and William Wordsworth through this poem has tried to symbolize war through winter. And also he compares the melting of snow to a defeated army retreating from the battlegrounds, indicating the end of the difficult time and the beginning of something new. As spring takes over, joy and happiness are slowly filling the environment. Because it was spring season, so the snow is only on the top of the bare hill, and most of the snow has melted in the warm spring season. It can be interpreted spring is the coming of the good days. Next, the blue boy is whooping, anon, anon. There's joy in the mountains. There's life in the fountains. Small clouds are sailing, blue sky prevailing. The rain is over and gone. The blue boy is whooping, anon, anon. There's joy in the mountains. The words whooping, anon, anon, it suggests that the sound of the blue boy's shout. The blue boy is making loud cries to talk to the horses, the cattle, to call out to other workers and to give the signals to the blue boy just to shout with the joy. And also there's life in the fountains. In the winter season, the streams are frozen, but in the spring season, the streams are flowing with water and have plenty of fish. And also the blue sky prevailing. In the winter season, the sky is dull and overcast and there is a mist and fog. But in the spring season, the sky is clear and blue and there is a bright sunshine. And for the last, the rain is over and gone. The last line declares that the harsh times are over, indicating the end of a season. Well, now go on to the intrinsic elements of poetry. Now, I just described some of intrinsic elements. The first one is imagery, the second one is figurative language, and the third one is theme. Well, for the first one, imagery. Imagery is the author's use of language that appeals to the five senses, like visual imagery, auditory imagery, olfactory imagery, gustatory imagery, and tactile imagery. There are five senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. In order to help the reader imagine exactly what is being described. In this poem, there is an imagery. If we can see at the beginning of the poem, the first stanza, the cock is crowing, the small birds twitter, the stream is flowing. Well, they are the kinds of imagery, namely auditory imagery about sound. The sense of hearing appeals to hearing, because using imagery helps the reader develop a more fully realized understanding of the imagery world that the author has created. Well, when we read this line in this poem, the first stanza, the cock is crowing, and then the small birds twitter, and the stream is flowing. Well, when we read this poem, we can imagine what is being described. What's that? We directly know about the sound of the crowing of the cock and the sound of the twitter of the small birds and the sound of the flowing of the stream. Yeah, that is the auditory imagery. When we read the poem at the beginning, in the first stanza, we can feel the sense of hearing based on the things. Yep, the second one is figurative language. Figurative language, when words do not mean exactly what they say, the reader has to interpret the words to understand the meaning. And in this poem, there is a kind of figurative language such as simile and personification. Well, from the first, simile. Simile is a comparison of two different things using the words like or as. We can see in this line, like an army defeated, the snow has retreated. Well, we can see that is the kind of simile because that is a comparison of two different things using the word like. It means that in winter season, the whole landscape was covered with snow. Meanwhile, spring season, with its bright sunny days, the snow has melted away. Yes, that is the kind of simile in this poem. And the second one is personification. The poem also uses personification. Personification is a figure of speech in which an inanimate object or abstraction is given human qualities or abilities, as if they are present and alive. We can see in this poem there is a personification inside. For example, like in the line, the green fields sleeps in the sun. He is saying that the fields are sleeping, but we know that the fields are non-living subject. And then the clouds are sailing. That is the kinds of personification in which an inanimate object is given human ability. Well, for the third one is theme. Theme is a message or lesson that the poem is trying to express. Temen, written in March, is a poem that presents about happiness. All things in nature are happy. The poet is clearly described the tranquil, the beauty of nature after the winter season. Every living and non-living things are ready to welcome the spring to the people of the village. Well, for me, overall, the poem gives off the feeling of calmness. It gives the effect of the calmness to the reader. The poem is trying to reach out to the reader by describing scenery in March, what is happening at the time, what the people are doing at the time. Describing the scenery for me, including the feeling of relaxation in reading it. Reading a poem like this aloud helps, especially if you step outside on a sunny day and feel the sun on your face when you are reading it. Then you can feel what William Wordsworth is doing at the time. And for me, it's really appreciated and very awesome. Well guys, there is a quote for you. Poetry is everywhere. Poetry is a music to your ears. Poetry is written on paper but doesn't live there. Poetry is in your eyes, your smile, and even in your tears. Poetry is your happiness, your anger, and also your fears. Well, I think that's enough for me to make a reaction video, especially in analyzing a poem. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Well, thank you very much. I'm Ovi. See you on the next video. Bye bye.